And I just wanted to inspire other people.
So well spoken about it as well.
What you've gone through, like, would you advise others to look out for? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Just Another Friday Night. I'm your host, Matthew Pham.
And I'm your other host, Preet Bardwaj. And for today's podcast, we have a special guest. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'd love to. My name is Asia, and currently I'm a senior at Stockton Early College Academy. And in this school, I am also the mental health committee coordinator.
All right, cool. We're a part of that committee.
Yes, we are.
Yup. Okay, but yeah, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How have you been?
Right now, I'm doing good, and like I said, I'm currently a senior, and as of now, we are all working on college applications, which is a tough process.
Yeah.
But as long as you balance your mental health and your personal well-being with college applications, you can put your mind to it.
I need that. I'm scared of college applications. So tell me, how do you do it? How do you get through?
Well, despite everything that's going on and all the things that are piling up, I honestly just have to manage my time properly, and with the support around me, it makes me more encouraged to keep on going.
Well, I'm glad that you have that support and you found those type of people that can help you. So, when you are stressed, are there any activities or things you do that can help you relieve stress?
Yes, of course. So whenever I'm stressed, I rejuvenate myself by either going off of my phone and taking a break off of social media and focusing more on myself. And the ways that I focus on myself are indulging in self-care, such as working out or taking a warm shower or playing with my pets. And I also call my friends for that support.
Yeah, I know we call a lot too, right?
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, okay, so we know that you are the mental health commissioner this year. What prompted you into stepping into that role? Was there anything specific in your mental health that, pushed you to take on that challenge?
Yeah, so when I got the mental health committee coordinator role, previously it wasn't an actual role. The previous coordinator was simply just leading the meetings and stepped up as a leader. And I was very inspired by her. And so I reached out to our advisor and asked if I could possibly be that leader and have a role to inspire others. And the main reason why I stepped up was because I personally struggled with mental health in my life. And I just wanted to inspire other people that it's okay to have these struggles because they're temporary and you can always get over them. Because in my experiences, I grew as a person, and that just prompted me to use my strengths to help others.
Those are some wise words.
Well, as a graduating senior, you have that maturity that you could mentor others with what you've gone throughout the high school. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to the next question. So, how do you cope with your mental health?
How I cope with my mental health? Well, I do it in a variety of ways, and it kind of overlaps with how I cope with my stress as well, because I believe that stress also plays a big factor in your mental health. So I usually do this by reaching out for support, and these include my friends, my family, or even my teachers at school. And by having that support, I've been able to express my emotions and gain new perspectives on how I view my life. And in my own time, I indulge in going outside and maybe doing a little exercise, because exercise is scientifically proven to improve your mental health.
I like exercise too. I like playing volleyball. Volleyball is a cool sport. But in terms of exercise, what do you do?
So in the past years, I've gone to the gym multiple times, and this can include cardio and weightlifting. But as of now, since I'm so busy, I haven't been able to incorporate that in my routine anymore. But just 10 minutes of exercise a day can help a lot. And I usually just walk around my backyard with my cats. And I believe that's really stress relieving.
Yeah, I never really went to gyms, but
I only went this summer, but it was fun. I went with one of my friends. Got those gains.
yeah, for my exercise, I run up and down the stairs.
Yeah, I did that too. Okay. Cool. So next question: as a teenager and now soon adult, what would you say to teenagers that sort of are still going through that experience? Because I know you are on the brink of adulthood. College applications. You're about to start the next chapter of your life. How would you respond to anyone asking you for advice who's still in that stage?
Yeah, totally. So when I was moving on to adulthood, I really put a lot of pressure on myself when it wasn't really necessary, because based on my family situation and personal life, I just felt that putting that pressure on myself pushed me to succeed and achieve the things that I wanted to. And even though I did achieve those things, I believe that I should have put less pressure on myself and stopped comparing myself to other people. And I feel like comparing myself to other people really took a toll on my mental health. And so when I was progressing through my teenage years, I would just recommend other people to take it easy on themselves, because you're still growing and mistakes are okay to make. And mistakes are completely normal throughout your years of growing up, because that's how you grow up into the person you are in the future and later.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've struggled with. I'm a perfectionist, so I do my best to try and put my 100% into everything. But at a certain point, you sort of like stretch yourself thin, right? So I can definitely see eye to eye on that.
Yeah. So, are there any signs of struggle that you experienced with your mental health and what you've gone through? Like, would you advise others to look out for?
So there were a variety of signs that occurred when I struggled with my mental health, and the number one sign that I noticed was isolating myself from other people. So when I isolated myself from people, it went also in two different routes. It went the good route and the bad route. And what I mean by that is that at the good route, I focused more on myself, but the bad route was that I didn't have that support around me. So when I started to stop isolating myself, I recognized a significant improvement in my mental health, because I realized, like, by isolating myself, I didn't have that support around me. And that is the number one thing that made me push through, was the people around me. So I advise others to recognize the signs, and one of these signs for me was being isolated.
Yeah, one of my friends recently sort of started isolating himself, and that was sort of a big thing for me, because I started thinking, did I do anything wrong? But then, like, talking to him, it's very obvious that it's not usually, if they isolate themselves, it's not a problem on the people around them. It's more a problem that, like, they're going through. But I feel like you being so open helps a lot of people just sort of feel okay, because you're a student yourself. So it's like listening to people that are similar to yourself go through the exact same thing but be so open about it. I think that's there's something that's really inspiring about that, and really, like, just it's really cool to see that you're so well spoken about it as well.
Preach. Well, last question. Anything you would wish people understood more about mental health?
Something that I wish people would understand more is how the definition of mental health is quite literally the well-being of your mind. And I feel like in the current generation, a lot of people associate it with depression or anxiety in this negative connotation. And that's the reason why there's so much a negative outlook on mental health nowadays. And even in the college admissions process, it's really looked down upon if you mention it in your application, whether you have anxiety problems or a family struggling with mental health, because they still have this stigma surrounding mental health. And that's why I stepped up as mental health committee coordinator, because I want to work around with others and collaborate with mental health organizations to get rid of this negative connotation. And I want to communicate that it's completely okay to go through these problems, and they're always just a temporary problem that can be fixed with the necessary support and resources. And as the coordinator, I strive to give these resources, because when I struggled with it, I didn't have that support until I reached out. And it's okay to reach out for help. It's never a bad thing to reach out for help.
I think the work that you've been doing is amazing as coordinator, because I think, just again, as I said before, hearing it from you, but also because the stigma doesn't really go away. The stigma is sort of everywhere, right? Like I know I want to go into the medical field, and I know that if I admit, like, oh, I might have anxiety problems or something or the other, I won't be able to get certified. And I know a lot of other people have those problems and they can't get certified. So there's always sort of been an incentive in the past to sort of keep quiet about if you're struggling with these things. So I think you sort of being so open is really, it's amazing.
Thank you.
With that, I think that's really all the questions that we have for you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, I'm happy to help.
And so if you want to listen to more episodes of the podcast, you can check us out on YouTube at Just Another Friday Night Podcast, and on Spotify as well. We're under the same name, right? And, just thanks for watching. Thanks for listening in, and we'll see you next month.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.